Well, moving on now, a senior partner at Biodun Adedipe & Co., who goes by the name Dr. Biodun Adedipe, during a conference in Lagos, said that major sectors such as agriculture, power and real estate that drive gross domestic product (GDP) growth are not well represented in the capital market. And similarly, some shareholders of companies quoted on the Nigerian exchange have expressed worry that the frequent imposition of fines on companies defaulting from post-listing requirement is scaring away investors and potential companies willing to list on the nation's capital market. This year alone, some 17 NGX-listed firms were fined a total of 93.920 million naira for failure to file their financial statements after the regulatory due date. I'd like to start with you, Charles. Let's have your thought on this. On the one hand, we're looking at, some sectors that are not well represented, and these are the sectors that are contributing to a very large extent to the GDP. And on the other hand, we have some shareholders who have the opinion that we're not having more people coming on board because of the fines and some regulatory issues. What do you think about this?
First of all, let me thank that it's an economics, Dr. Adedipe. He's been a guest in some of our program, and yes, the capital market is free entry, free exits. What the exchange and other exchanges or the regulators will do is just to encourage listing to come to the market. If I run a company and I'm making so much profit and I've met most of the requirements, there's no law that mandates me to be listed on the exchange. So yes, we have seen quite a number of companies in the agricultural sector, which he has mentioned, even some of the real estates, which I had mentioned. They were listed based on their own free will. So, and the exchange will continue to encourage issuers to come and list their securities because listing has a lot of benefits. However, we are not saying when you list it's a rule because there are also responsibilities that are involved when you are being listed. Exactly. But yes, Dr. Adedipe is making a point. We will continue. That's we as stockbrokers and market players, in conjunction with regulators, we will continue to encourage issuers to come to the market.
All right, I want to ask you a very quick one now. Yes. Looking at the sectors that he mentioned, do you think these sectors are actually not well represented?
I will agree with him. Look at the agricultural sector. We just have basically about 2 or 3 companies here: Presco, Okomo, and maybe FTN Kuku. Livestock, just few. We want to see more listing. We have just over 250 companies listed on the exchange. Just 250. And we're over 200 million Nigerians. So we want to see more listings. We're not talking about, but what I will tell you now is the current machine that is being used in the exchange, the Xstream, or XGEM, has the capacity for over 2,000 securities. So we have not even met a quarter of what the capacity of that exchange. Now, coming to those shareholders who are saying the exchange is using fine sanctions for companies. Now, before you are listed, your advisors will have told you so many things. That's what they call post-listing requirements. It's not just the listing requirement, that is a post-listing. So your financial advisor, which is the issuing house, your stockbroker, as the case may be, will take you through all that so that you understand your responsibility. Like you have mentioned, you need to submit your financials at a particular due date. And in fairness to the exchange, fines are not just the first regulatory sanctions that they use. If, for example, a company, a bank, and before they release their results to the exchange, they must get approval from their primary regulator, which is CBN. And if that is conflicting with your due date, you just simply write to the exchange. Exactly. The exchange will be aware, and of course they give you a waiver. So those companies, yes, there are instances where we have seen the exchange using that. It is because they have tried other methods, and these companies are not even willing to change. So for me, it is talking to the advisors of those companies that, look, listing comes with responsibility. Like we say on the floor, once you have been listed, that means you are ready to dance naked. You are ready to make sure that everybody sees your financials as and when you, because the exchange is there to create a financial market that is efficient, transparent, and fair. We don't want information asymmetry where some people have more information than others. So we need to balance the market, and a little bit of discipline is also needed to make those companies to list, to send all their numbers. Not only numbers, there are other things that will happen in your firm.
If you inform the exchange,
so that will make investors to price your securities very well and also take informed decisions.
All right, I just like to have your thoughts. What do you think about what these shareholders are saying?
Actually, the listing of stock on the exchange, as I said it all, is not compulsory. It's free entry and free exit. There are some that are there or before now, we decide that, we can't meet the post-liquid requirement, on their own they step out. That's why I say free entry, free exit. But the good thing is that regulators should encourage these people. For example, if the cost or the fee for listing is high, you can bring it down to attract them. And also, don't forget that, like you said, there's a benefit that comes with listing. But when you are listing, you have access to a lot of things easily because you know that you're a quoted company, your information is on the public. No, people can, that is one. Another thing is that before now, we've been clamoring that we don't have telecom sector in the exchange. Gradually, they are coming up now. I tell you that I have about almost like 2 that are yet to be on the exchange. Let regulator encourage them. He mentioned like about 5 companies in that agricultural sector. Okomu is there, Presco is there, Elema Lake is there,
Ella Lake
is there. We have livestock. We can encourage them because this is the engine of any economy. If you are doing to agriculture, let's encourage them. But like I said, most people are still doing business as one-man business. Until you make it public, then you can have the benefit of becoming a bigger company, which will do that. For the shareholders, one, they don't understand the role of NGS. NGS is not for me. They are not even doing. They are still
very lenient.
They are still scratching the ground or just starting with them. Yes. Let me tell you, in a matured market, if this year you release the result on the 10th of January, they can forecast that on the 12th of January, 11 results will be in the market. But in Nigeria, you cannot easily plan with quoted company result. It is of free cent that you must release your quarter result within 30 days, your full year within 90 days. If you release on the tail for 30 days, 60 days, it is not that we are seeing the result coming. Before now, I can remember when I joined the market, stock like 7up when it was listed. The end of the year is September. The next August, in the new financial year, you see the result in the market. Because if you pay fine, they have the money to pay. Also, as we speak today, Conoye is one of the companies that, if you like, take on that you're going to pay fine, or you're ready to pay the fine, result to not come on time.
Why is that so?
I don't know. That's why corporate governance. That's why NGS should do more so that we can see them regular, so that we can plan with them. Because for now, we can plan with your capital when it's closer to come to the market, Zenith Bank, Nigeria Brew, we can plan with them. I believe this part of what corporate governance we need to be in the market. Let's encourage it. For me, if the shareholders are really concerned, they should advise their management because they are the owner of the company. Exactly. If you didn't release the result on time, it will also deduct your salary.
Yes.
Because it's the shareholders to pay the fine. Then if you know that to release the result is not a big deal, if you release it on time, they fine you. Yes, when we're meeting the directors, all of you that and that also deduct your money, because if you know what you are doing, you are the shareholder, give us the right information. Let's improve with our investment. For me, the NS is just starting.
All right, that's interesting. Well, Oladipo, talk to us. How do you think the exchange can, encourage more listings? Because this is what we are looking at the moment.
Yeah, thank you very much. For me, I think the exchange must actually find a way to actually educate of the reasons why they need to list on the exchange. What do I stand to gain? Because if I can operate my business without listing on the exchange, and my business can thrive, and I can run my business, my books in secrecy without anybody seeing what's going on with my books, without any tax authority having reasons to actually accept my book directly or indirectly. Of course, why do I need to list? I think the exchange need to do more around that. You must be able to actually educate people of the reasons why they list. You must be able to encourage them to actually come on board the reasons that it's here for you to actually raise capital when you are listed on the exchange. Because what that means is that you have visibility. You are not new to the market. It's not that you are trying to raise money and people are looking at who is this company. Of course, when you come to the market, people know that you're already listed. You just imagine a company like Dangote trying to come to the market to list, to raise money, whether via fixed income market or via the
equities market.
Of course, the market is aware of who Dangote is, and it's easier for them to actually raise as much as what they want to raise. And also, the estate must also get to actually educate people that those rules is not for the exchange but for the betterment of the company. Because what that will do to the company is that it will bring in efficiency on the part of the company. Imagine a company that you are running and maybe there are some things you are not doing rightly, and by the time you need to file your report with the exchange, and they actually are able to actually point out some of those anomalies, and for you to actually make correction around this. You understand me? What that will do to you is that it will ensure that the way you operate your business, you operate with a level of efficiency. So I think on the part of the exchange, they need to actually get to tell people what they gain, what's available for companies as gain for listing on the exchange, rather than just telling them that just come around. If you don't tell me what I stand to gain, I might not actually want to actually come on board. So I think the exchange needs to do more around educating companies around.
All right, thank you. Well, moving on now, in a related development, the Securities and Exchange Commission, that's the SEC, has approved the regulations for listing tech startups on the Nigerian Exchange Technology Board. The NGX Technology Board is a specialized listing and capital raising platform for technology-based businesses. Through the board, NGX hopes to promote investments in African and indigenous technology-oriented businesses, give these businesses more prominence, and ultimately expand the Nigerian capital market. Qualified institutional investors, retail investors, and high net worth investors will all have access to the securities listed on the NGX Technology Board. Mukchao, let's have your thoughts. This should take us a step closer to having more listings on the NGX. So what do you think?
Exactly, where the future is tech, and we are seeing that even with the banking sector, most of the holding companies are beginning to form up tech-based holding structures. So I think it's a good thing in the it's a good development we are seeing from NX Exchange. I think it's a good one. But again, like they said, like my colleagues in the studio said, you need to give something to have something. So definitely the exchange should in turn give something to get these people listed if you want investors to be listed in the market. But outside of that, I think it's a good development when you know that we have most of them are the move out, shake out of the financial space, the tech company. Like I said, some of subsidiary now beginning to form payment holding structure also. I think that is good, especially for the fintech companies. And already we have Future View, which happen to be a global brand also. We have other brands that have become global. Juma is listed in the New York Stock Exchange. So it is a good thing we see lots of those brands to be listed in the Nigeria in the exchange also. But like my colleague said, I mean, the exchange should be ready to let them know what they are going to gain by being listed, and also let them know the rules and regulations, so that you have to abide by the rules. If you are listed, you have a particular time you need to release your results. It's only in Nigeria that, like Ambrose said, you just come and just anytime you are ready to.
All right, Mukhtar, I think the point is noted. Oladipo, I would like you to talk about this now. What are your expectations? Do you see the tech startups jumping on this, saying that a lot of them, they have VCs, you know, they have all of these angel investors and all that. Do you think they will find the NGX attractive?
Well, I think it's going to be a tough one for NGX on this one. And why I said that is, one of the reasons why you can actually help people to actually come on the exchange is raising funds, capital raising. But these guys are already raising capital without even being listed on the exchange. And when you talk about visibility, most of these fintech companies, they are household name already. And like I said, the exchange will need to do more to actually bring these guys on board. Because most of them, as we speak, I doubt anybody knows the revaluation of their business, because the way they operate their business is more like in secrecy. Okay. You don't understand that. As we speak, nobody can say this is actually the valuation of most of these companies. So I think aside these, there must be something more of like a moral suasion that will encourage these people of the reason why they need to actually take advantage of the market. Another thing I also would say about these guys is that most of the fund they are raising is more of dollar denominated, and for you and I know that they are one way or the other exposed to exchange rate risk, because it means that if they are not generating revenue in foreign currency, that might actually affect the business. But when the exchange is able to actually explain this to them and tell them that, but when you come home and you are listed on the exchange in Nigeria, it's easier for you to actually raise funds in local currency, and that would not actually expose you one way or the other to exchange rate risk that you might actually be exposed to when you actually raise money offshore.
All right, thank you. Very quickly, Ambrose, I'd like to have your thought looking at what Oladipo just said.
No, actually, I would say that yes, it's a good development to open a door for them to come and list. But I will tell you, investment in technology is very, very volatile and risky, as you just mentioned, because technology change every day. If you're an investor, you are investing in a company that technology is changing as time is coming. If the company is not able to follow through with that changes, you are going to be backward. For that, if you want to invest in tech, you need to understand the operation of tech business, and also they to come into the market, they need to spend more, because as the technology is changing, they also want to do additional fund or to expand their business. For that, coming to exchange will be a good platform for them. Like my colleague just said, coming back to raise funds in another denomination better than going to raise more in dollars, where the volatility in terms of exchange rate will affect you. But I believe that investors in Nigeria, if they are coming, will have to be very, very careful. One, it's a good development, but tech business is a business that we cannot predict tomorrow, because technology comes to next day, you knock it out, you have to start running again. That means you have to be very careful. It's a good one, because what we're doing today is going to drive the war. They call the thing we're saying, but because it changes. Today, I tell you, before now, Zoom is just at one corner. The next day, before this year, for the next 5 years, another platform will come that puts Zoom somewhere. That means you need to develop your technology to run it. That means if you invest in that industry or that sector, you need to understand the whole thing of how this is so that you can make money. It's good that we're expanding our market, but as well as we're going, let's educate our investor. Even the regulators are not doing enough on education. That means I said, SEC, my brother here, Charles, the operators in the market, NGS, they need to do more with education, because people are standing on the fence watching, because when they lost their money in 2008, they are still complaining today. But only the few ones that have come back to the market to recoup what they have lost. But those that are still standing, but we need to tell them, come, the market is transparent now, the market is good now for the company, because you need education to convince them, but not just tell them that come and buy and sell. No, they need to know why they come back to the market. That's why SEC should release the speed of introducing new products in the market without education. Take education to them, the ones that are in the market, educate them how they can take advantage of it, and then move forward.
All right, thank you. I think at this point we'll have to take a break. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to select food companies on the NGX. Stay with us.